Welcome to The Scale, the podcast where we rate ourselves from 1 to 10 in the areas that shape our lives: leadership, parenting, personal growth, success. Each week, James challenges you to be honest about where you are and gives you the tools to move closer to a level 10 life, built on respect, focus, and discipline. So where are you on the scale today?
Hey, it's James Theris again with episode number 2 of The Scale. In this podcast, we try to help the listener give themselves an accurate rating on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being their worst, 10 being their best, in a very specific area. And so this week, we're going to be talking about how excellence is contagious. So when a child is surrounded by excellence, they start to expect it of themselves. And here's the best part. The habits they learn in one area carry over into everything else. If they learn focus and discipline in martial arts, for example, it shows up in the way they do their homework. And if they develop respect and responsibility at home, it shows up in the way they train. A culture of excellence isn't just about perfection. It's about creating an environment where doing your best is normal. So to help illustrate this a little bit, as you know, I'm a martial arts instructor and school owner, and I have a lot of other friends that do the same thing as I do. But I've visited a lot of different schools around the United States, and in fact, across our globe. And I remember this one place that I walked in, and it was somewhere in the West Virginia area. I think it was like Sterling, West Virginia. And I'll tell you, it was a whole different experience when I walked in. I thought I was doing a good job until I walked into this school. It was immaculate. Everything was absolutely perfect. There was no dust. There was no smell. In fact, the smell was very good. They had purposely put some air fresheners in that made the place smell fantastic. Everything was laid out in a logical fashion and organized. Everybody's uniforms were clean and pressed. Their belts were all tied properly. Their attitudes were impeccable. I don't know if that's the right word to use for that, but they were outstanding. I didn't see a single student with a mean face or a sour face. They were all just in it to win it, including all of their instructors and employees. It had a whole different level of the excellence. You could just see it in everything. The way the students moved, the way the instructors taught the classes, it was just incredible. And I used that as a way to think about how I could bring that into my school. And I've used that particular student's or friend of mine's school as a measuring device ever since. And that's what it takes. You have to learn how to measure something, and you have to get a clear picture of what that should look like. And so for today, we're going to be talking more from a parenting standpoint of how to kind of do that. So getting clear is the hardest thing, right? So clear standards, though, make excellence possible. And that's what my friend's school kind of helped me to do, is to get that idea of what excellence looks like. So for a parent, keep in mind that kids can't hit a target that they can't see. Now at home, you might make your expectations simple and specific, such as homework gets done before screen time, or we greet people in this house by making eye contact and saying hello. Be sure also to use consistent follow-through so that they know you mean it. Now at school, you might teach them that excellence isn't just about getting an A, it's about turning in their best work, asking for help if they need it, or participating with focus. And, of course, in martial arts, we have to include that one. Excellence might look like wearing a clean uniform, bowing with respect, or trying every technique with effort, and listening the first time directions are given. Listen, when a child knows what level 10 looks like, they can aim for it, and they often exceed it. Now, I've got a couple of main points here. So this is main point number 2, and that's this. Children are excellent observers, as you may have guessed. So if you want your kids to go above and beyond and do their best, they need to see you going above and beyond and giving your best. If you expect them to be on time, you show up on time. If you expect them to be respectful, they need to hear you respectfully speaking and even under stress. And if you expect them to follow through, they need to see you keeping your promises. Our instructors do this on the mat every day. We like to train alongside with the students and demonstrate techniques and hold ourselves to the same discipline that we ask of them. Now, the third main point is that we want to recognize and celebrate excellence. And this is the one that I kind of feel like most of us, and myself included, could probably raise our scale a little bit higher than where it is. And so this is a phrase to remember. What you reward, you repeat. What you reward, you repeat. So meaning that what you reward, you get the repeat behavior. All right, so at home, praise specific actions, such as, I'm proud of how focused you stayed on your homework, which is much more powerful than just simply saying, good job. At school, encourage them to tell you when they put in extra effort, even if the grade wasn't perfect. This reinforces process over perfection. And then, of course, in martial arts, you want to celebrate not just the new belts, those are cool too, but the extra practice they may have put in and the way that they helped another student or how they bounced back from after making a mistake. Listen, kids thrive when excellence feels good and gets noticed. Now, for practical application, of course, we want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How clear are your expectations for your child at home? How well are you modeling those expectations for yourself? And how often are you catching and celebrating your child's best effort? Listen, I've raised 4 kids, and I remember I could have done a lot better with my kids. If I had kids today, I would be way better at that part of it, and that's the catching and celebrating their best effort. And for your kids, ask them to rate themselves on the same questions for school or martial arts. Then pick one area to raise a single point by this week. Small steps done consistently create lasting habits. This week, I want you to choose one standard to raise at home, in school habits, or in martial arts. It could be making sure the school backpack is organized before bed, maybe giving extra effort in every martial arts drill, or greeting people with eye contact and a smile. And here's the key: model it yourself. Let them see you living the standard, not just talking about it. Because when excellence becomes the culture, kids carry it with them into every classroom, every practice, every relationship, and every challenge. Now, if today's episode helped you think differently about raising standards for your kids, share it with another parent. And if your child had a level 10 moment this week, whether it's at home, in school, or on the mat, please tell me about it. You can post it on social media and tag me, or send me a message. Until next time, keep raising your family's standards and keep climbing the scale.